think my job was to try and articulate in general terms where we wanted to go and who we wanted to be, and to help our community, our staff, our board members, our students, to all understand that, and to have the opportunity to buy into that, and to encourage them to buy into that. And you have to do that over and over and over and over again. And you have to, on certain points, not waver. You have to take on the tenets of the philosophy and to promote them vigorously over and over and over again. And like I said jokingly, get out of the way. You have to allow people to experiment, to try, to fail, to not be fearful that when they do fail, that they're going to be singled out or fired or pushed to the side. That failure is an option. You know, a lot of times people will say failure is not an option. Well, failure is an option, and people have to understand that it's an option. And that you get yourself up and keep on going. So I guess you have to articulate where we want to go and who we want to be, and then you have to eliminate fear. You have to take a lot of fear out of the organization, of how we go about the business, the fear of failure, the fear of being wrong. And we used several stories to highlight how people had failed and what they did as a result of that failure, and how in the end, or over a period of time, people or groups picked themselves up and dusted themselves off and analyzed the data and evaluated the system, and in the long run helped improve that system. So I think as a leader you have to do those kinds of things: eliminate the fear, help people understand who we are and where we're going. And I think you have to lead by example to a degree. And of course I wasn't always successful at that. Sometimes, you know, you would find yourself reverting back, you know, and telling people, well, because I said so, that's why. You know, I'm in this job, and when you want to do it, you can, but right now I'm the superintendent, and here's what I want you to do. And I guess we had eliminated fear enough where people from time to time would challenge that and say, well, you know, that's really not what the system's telling us. And it's irritating at times. But I guess you have to, as a leader, you have to be secure enough to allow people to do that. You have to allow people to challenge you and to help you. You know, you can't be the end-all, be-all of every question and every situation that comes up. So when I said get out of the way, that's part of that. You have to let the system operate, and the people in the system know better than you in a lot of cases what the faults and problems with the system are. And you have to trust that. It's hard to do for a leader. It really is. I got challenged sometimes on a daily basis with some of the things I thought we ought to be doing. And looking back on it, it was good that they did because the direction I would have gone would have been wrong. Monta was one that challenged quite often and did it very successfully. And there were others. Not everybody would. But I think as a leader, you have to be willing to allow people to do that and to do it without fear of reprisal or retribution. You kind of have to put your ego aside in a lot of cases. And that's not always easy to do when you've risen to a position of where everyone thinks you know everything and you're wise and you know what to do. You know, I think in most cases, if leaders were honest, they would let people know that, well, we don't always know what to do. We aren't always wise. We aren't always right. And we need to admit that freely and encourage people to come in and help.